Papa God, we want to thank you for this evening. We want to thank you for ways that make it possible for we forget and I also. Father, we commit your honor, Lord, everything we can do as a community. We pray that God will be peacefully with we will continue forever. We pray even as we transit to a new body for takeover. We pray that God, Father, Lord, the love and the joy, the peace will continue for the among you.
Amen.
And also with the committee outgoing executives too, we pray that God even whatever they've done, we pray and thank you for their lives and thank you for their sacrifice. And we ask that God, you give the new one, the one they come also, got the ability, the strength for carry on for the next 2 years. We pray that, Lord, as we come in peace, we will live in peace in Jesus' name.
Amen.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال محمد وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال محمد وسلم صلوات الله على رسوله اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد وسلم تسليما الحمد لله رب العالمين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو العالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس سلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله ما يشركون اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله
serve as president for the whole community. And then we forget the financial report, the treasurer are not there here, but I guess some of the notes where they are actually being really a wonderful idea because now your role for give actually financial report. If there are any questions, people will ask them. But I say get personal matters we prevent enough for there today. And but that being said, whatever the report is, Teza go forward at the forum and everybody go get access to run. And then if need be, follow, get another meeting for there. People ask those questions, there will be. But I will try my best for going into some of the statements that were sent to me. And also, we've been supposed to get the auditor's report. The auditor go through some of the things, but the auditor in and within the treasurer center, there's a little bit yesterday, Friday night, the auditor sent the report. So time not for looking through it, because usually when you don't prepare a report, you just sit down with the executive and then discuss them. So I identified a few things. For example, the auditor asked about the Ebola money, but in the report we're moving D for the mudslide, that Ebola money actually didn't, and I actually we don't submit that to the auditor. The auditor not balance that for so that kind of discrepancy there. So when the auditor and the team finish that as well, the auditor's report will be given to you. And we will get, President Dr. Conte for present in team. And as we resolution in the last time where we get the motion for law we elect the president and choosing cabinet, we can get a resolution that when they elect the president, he will choose in cabinet, present unto we, and then we can approve them the cabinet, and then we'll start function. So that will be done by Dr. Conte. So that being said, why just let me go to the discussion. Before I proceed, anybody get any questions? Madam Kamara, Secretary General Teresa, and the Assistant Secretary General Kai, Social Secretary Martha, and Assistant Secretary Salimat Clark, Youth Coordinator Kelvin, Assistant Youth Coordinator Harry Collier, the Treasurer Idris Bundu, Financial Secretary Matilda Kamara, and the Auditor Rebecca Nunu. Yes.
Great attendance, no, there. Okay.
Okay, so you pass. Without their support, I would not have been able to do what I have done to serve my community. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our elders and past leaders, of whom one is here, Mr. Augustine Mara, Omoma Gona. You will agree with me that without these visionary leaders, we will not be celebrating as a strong community today. Let me also humbly appreciate the entire members of my executive, past and outgoing, for the great and wonderful support and service. Without you, work would have been much more difficult. Thanks to all the spouses that allow your partners to volunteer for this community. We also want to appreciate our partners and community friends, especially the Liberian community president and the Solid Rock International Church, Pastor Blamo in particular. We thank you all who have been there throughout our term and for your support from when we started and now we are about to leave it gracefully. The history of the Sierra Leone Association has been formed for more than 18 years by dedicated Sierra Leoneans who, irrespective of political, tribal, and religious differences, came together to help some of us who were suffering during the past years of civil war in our country. They succeeded in convincing the then Liberal government of Canada to help suffering Sierra Leoneans. However, as our community grew, more issues grew with us. The politics that brought war in our country was slowly creeping, and favoritism started creeping into the leadership, and the power struggle ensued. We had a vacuum for about a long time. During that period of vacuum, our organization was crossed off the provincial government list of registered non-profit organization because of inactivity that lasted for more than 10 years. On December 23, 2015, we were able to register as a non-profit under the new name from the Sierra Leone Canada Friendship Association to the Sierra Leone Association of Alberta. The mission of the Sierra Leone Association has been that its members experience equitable access to opportunities, resources for the health and well-being of our members, which includes education, health, service, and social inclusion. The mission and vision of our community organization is based on the belief that unity is vital to the economic, social, and political progress of our community. The Sierra Leone Association has been focused on unity, community participation, family support, providing opportunities to members and community of Edmonton, and building capacity and shaping health and vibrant community, supporting our individual small groups within the community. Some of the highlights. In between 2014-2018, which I was the president, was an exciting year in which we had the privilege of engaging with more people in our community by ensuring active involvement and participation through community events and activities. We are able to connect and partner with other community organizations, service providers whose insights help inform the priorities and strategic direction of the next several years. In 2017, the Sierra Leone Association of Alberta celebrated its first ever flag raising ceremony, and April 27 of every year was declared Sierra Leone Independence Day in Edmonton by Mayor Don Ivanson and the council. And that Sierra Leone Association of Alberta was represented at the Heritage Festival due to the hard work of this current executive. The SLA received awards from the province of Alberta for the community leadership. We were chosen as one of the few community countries to be visited in this year's Heritage Festival by the Premier Retail Notley. This growth is as a result of the hard work of the executive members and all of you community members. As a president, I have worked with different executive members for the past 4 years, and I would like to share some observations that I have seen. It never mattered what the issues or the problems were. Some members have always been able to look for and find to create what will make us move forward, and something that they had hope in. The community was the biggest thing to them, and it was bigger than individuals. The community and its membership were the first priority for the executive. In 2014, a bylaw committee was formed, and after the initial draft of the Constitution by me, the bylaw committee was able to produce our present Constitution bylaw, which were to be used to register the association with its new name, the Sierra Leone Association, in December 2015. Because we wanted to register and get access to funding, we are advised to use the template of Alberta registries and then submit our prepared bylaws as amendment to enable us the speedy process and to avoid delay in the registration process. I am happy to say that with your support, we have developed these bylaws that reflect the needs of the community. We have been registered and we have made numerous connections and relationships with other communities and organizations. This means that from 2014 to 2016, no funding was received for nowhere. The organization was functioning with what we had, and the events we were organizing, such as the independence celebration. After the registration, we were able to start accessing small funding from the city of Edmonton. In 2017, we were able to secure a total of, I think, around 7,000 some hundred from the city of Edmonton, I think 3 times, 2,500, 2,500. So that was the only funding we received from the city of Edmonton. So, as I stated, we established bylaws registered as a nonprofit, secured funding from municipal and provincial government, fundraised and supported over 300 victims of the mudslide in Sierra Leone, fundraised and supported the Liberian community. Yet there is more to be done, especially in terms of programs, especially children, youths, and seniors. And this is where I think we mostly focus on as we move forward. There should be no place for narrow and tribal ideologies in our modern, progressive, and secular community. Short ideologies divide our society and weaken the very fabric of who we are. We should prevent them from growing. We need to strengthen the traditions of our country, which teach us to promote tolerance, respect for thought process different from ours. I will appeal to all subgroups, all tribes of our community, and the public at large to work in this direction. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, today I call on you all to strengthen our individual and collective resolve to defeat tribalism, political divide. I firmly believe that a resolution by each and every one of you to act on unity will see this community thrive, and this will translate to a change in our community. The resolution must be action-oriented and geared towards positive change. I am very sure that all of us want this community, and it is therefore time for all of us to follow our aspirations with actions. Action speaks louder than voice. Don't be passive participants, be active participants. The actions that are required have been stated over and over again. Love one another, support and care for one another. Put your political and tribal difference aside for the betterment of our community. Get involved, because it is only by getting involved that you can actively and passively make the changes that we require in our community. We need to belong to our community or stay connected in our community. By doing so, we will be taking ownership of our community. A community offers the promise of belonging and calls for us to acknowledge our interdependence. To belong is to act as an investor, an owner, a creator of the place you call your community. Don't look on others that this is their responsibility. It is our responsibility, all of us. A community is where you are welcome. And if you came to the right place and are affirmed for that choice, we can all get the benefits we want from the community when it succeeds. So, we did fundraising and supported about 15 orphan children paying their school fees for 2 years. We bought books, uniforms, shoes, transportation, and special pay for special classes for 2 years as well. Established and created partnership with the Liberian community, the Action for Healthy Communities, Mennonite Center, and today I'll be proud to say that even before I'm leaving, I have applied to the provincial government, and we've been approved for $25,000, which will be living for a youth program. That money will be deposited in the next 2 weeks into the coffers of our association. And even though this was done even when I came, when I was being attacked for partnering with ISA, who have volunteered to give us that, and as I said, it's because the slideshow is not working. We were not able to, we only were functional in 1 year when we actually accessed funding to the city. We were just, the first 2 years, when I was elected, we were building the bylaws. A year after the end of 2015, we registered. And you have to take, just like you have a credit card, they won't give you 5,000 credit card, they will try you with 500 or 1,000. As you build your credit, that's how government, the same way with the association. Because we registered in 2015, we didn't have access to funding. It is only slowly that you build those reputation and those credibility. And I thank ISA, and for that, we actually had a plaque here to thank the Sinkunya community because they have transformed us. And they have given us that opportunity to actually access more funding, and today we can be proud that we've been able to access. I want to ask ISA to come and receive it on behalf of the Sinkunya community. Mr. Isa.
You want to hold on, please? This man.
Okay. Maybe you want to turn back. Mama, you want to take back this way? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
This camera. We're not facing the camera.
Yeah. So that being said, as I said, but during the process, I have been building relationship with Mennonite Center. And actually, when I applied for the anti-racism fund for youth, wherein it actually creates an opportunity for a youth to be employed. A youth to be employed for 6 months, and that youth will actually have $2,000 every month for actually taking the initiative to coordinate that. That is an opportunity, as I said in my speech. In the beginning, when I took over, there was a foundation to be built. I had a target. The community was disfragmented. I can't do programs when the community is not united. My goal was to actually get the things in place. With my team, we were able to, with the working groups and committees that we formed, to get the bylaws going, and then to build those relationships and build our credibility so that we can actually start accessing funds. So now we have that relationship. We are strong partners with Mennonite Center that's over 20-something million, and they were the first that actually introduced us to enable us to actually go into heritage as well. This year or next coming year, it is an opportunity. Now we've showcased there twice. It is an opportunity for the incoming executive to actually go in, and I think that's how a lot of organizations have been doing. There is no building that is surviving without a strong foundation. Our goal here was to build a strong foundation for this organization, and I think that's what we've achieved. And we've also supported other communities by participating in events, buying, like for Degbomi, for example, buy a whole table to actually support them. And so we were one of the few countries, immigrant countries, that fly our flag at a city center, and this was a hard work that we did to actually apply, and I go through all the process to do that. And this was an award given to us by the province for our leadership, community leadership, because they see myself and some executive members and what we are doing in our communities. When we do functions, in fact, that has been replicated. A lot of time, even the last time, one of the community leaders, when they came, they see how we celebrated our independence, asked Teresa to help them so that they can do exactly what we did. When they saw our inauguration, the way Dr. Conte actually did that, it was remarkable. And people see that, they emulate that. And we have represented, so for that leadership, actually the Premier gave us this certificate as well. And people like Walters have been dedicated, and Walters gave us this hard drive to actually store our photos and documents and things, in respective also what he has always been doing in terms of what he's doing now. So that being said, I don't want to take much of your time. Maybe I'll go back to create any questions before I go to briefly some of the financial reports. Anything they want to miss? Your anti-racism community grant program application, the numbers there has been approved. Funds is awarded for the Connecting Us Diversity and Inclusion Youth Challenges Forum to be eligible for eligible budget expenses. Prior to this release of the fund, your organization needs to complete the logic model. I have done all that. All what is done now is for implementation for the new executive. I've completed, I've done everything. In the next 2 weeks, the 25,000, but I'll be meeting with the president. And also, the Premier invited myself and Martha to the launching of the Black History Month. And we have been, even when the anti-racism started, we are one of the key communities that we are invited to shape what became a policy for the government of Alberta. Because we had a big meeting, and myself and Martha and very selected few, we went to the legislature.
My observation, what you mean they present, you make it clearly to we say for 2 years, we are not able to apply for any fund, we are not able to bring in the kitty apart from them 251 they get from city. If I flash back, the last meeting when you call, when we get na the church room at Marcelo organize, so you send a get flag for we say we are not able for file. Because we are not able to file, then the hamburger we get money.
Yeah.
Personally, I ask if anything the way we the people of Salon community can do for you for fast track that in the so that we pull and come on do. The question. That same problem, they make unable to get money this last 2 years, or is it a different problem? If it's a different problem or not the same problem, what have you done so that the executive or they can take over you, not will suffer the same consequences?
Consequences. That's a good question. One, as I say, the first I did it and get just confirmation from, get some figures from the treasurer. Because it's been difficult for I will do and I take time. And one of the things when maybe I've been one we do the thing when necessary for we begin get funding. And if you not do the things in the I give you an example. I also apply for administrative grant, about 700 and something, which that administrative grants, then they look at based on how you income, how much money they get inside, and how you spend them. Then they look at government, they give money, then for just, even they apply for it once and then they give you. I apply for them, but they not been get any, they only get one financial report will file. They not get anything that they compare around with. For let them see how much they're going to give it. So after 2015, 2016, because the year started at the beginning January to December 31st. So the 31st now in the fiscal year they end. We're not able to file for 2017 and 2018 yet because the law changed with the Alberta registries. Now you need to get an audited report before you file. So before I do that filing, we'll not get that, so I'll be able to file without audited report. So, but now, so I contact the auditor and I talk to my team. It took me a long time for that actually get the prepared statement, and not until I think this October auditing starts. And only yesterday I get audited report way not coincide with some of it. There are some discrepancies there. So yes, if we not get audited report, how are I even able to get the 25,000 without? Obviously, and they ask you for a financial statement. I use a statement for 2017, for been done use for file, but it's not being audited yet. And I use for submit to the provincial government. But because I get Mennonite with a credible organization, I get Action for a Healthy Community with a credible organization. In fact, I've been facing them to call me back for asking me, say, we'll not get audited statement, but it was approved. It was a lot, but I believe that because of the partnership and yes, going forward, if we not get that audited report, it will hinder how they get funded. So still, it is a problem, but these are some of the recommendations there in the handing of the notes to you that you will want to ensure that that happens. And one of the things even we probably this new system will do, because probably that will create efficiency and cooperation with people. As we see, we team now full here, and most times that's the case. We have only very few dedicated people always take care of. Any other question before I give a brief rundown on finances? Maybe now I'll start to the money order and all first, and then. Okay.
No, wait, we need for no. Wait.
100. And we had.
What year, sir? If I can just go back.
2014, where we take over is 10,000. So I not get a correct figure, but it's around 10,000. I'll tell you that. And
yes,
la finish 110. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, just about the financial report.
Yeah.
As much as debtors, then they will not go on names then because of affiliation.
$5.33.
How much?
$3,785.33. Yes. So it's the same one.
The report really outgoing before Kemoh.
Yes. So the time we may take over.
Sorry, Mr. President. What year was that? Since the debt.
We may not be able to tell. We may take over.
So you inherit the debts?
Yes.
2013.
These are debts I inherited. I'm not giving nobody any debt. The total money was over.
Please, one meeting, please.
The total money wouldn't be owned about 10,800. Struggle for the past how many years for make like I did so today. I don't want to tarnish, I don't destroy them. Election done, it done. Please. Now we come together and actually support. And in fact, before This me and Dr. Conte don't talk even yesterday. Me and me there for quite some time. Where they talk about moving forward.
For the last time.
I will still continue for ready for support and in any way where I able, when me time permit. I was still ready for the connector to the connections there where I don't get. In fact, the first thing like this 25,000 we get. Mennonite Center is a very huge community where you partner with them. Action for Healthy, I want to take the new executive and bring on to this team where I don't work with this team for about 8 years. We don't write book as well. We don't write book, we don't for like I introducing new executive.
Just stay like that, stay there, please.
For like I introducing new executive.
Just stay like that, stay there, please.
For like I introducing new executive.
Just stay like that, stay there, please.
For like I introducing new executive.
Just stay like that, stay there, please.